Hugo Bros played against each other in the 1986 World Cup. Sitole was caught out there, and there's the opening goal for the Mexicans. Quiñones, big goal. Alvarado's cross in, and there's the goal he was looking for. It's Raul Jimenez, and it's 2-0. A World Cup goal at last.
The president surveying the scene. Was a useful one! And it's another set-piece goal for Czechia! Their first in the World Cup for 2 decades!
They've got to make it more intricate how they did before to try and get in the game.
Oh, it's a good run, a really good run! Surely it's the equaliser! And it's there! Hwang In-beom levels matters for South Korea!
With this World Cup, we're going to see abundance of ability. Oh, what a lovely little ball that is.
Oh, they're in again! And it's, oh, the substitute! South Korea have come from behind!
Live from New York, it's the show that's celebrating the start of the World Cup. Excellent start yesterday afternoon and last night. As you can see, we've got our World Cup set here with one change that I just noticed. Don't say it yet. Brew, did you notice any changes to the set? Because it seems like we did it yesterday.
I do know the change.
Can you explain what it is?
Did I say it?
You can say it, but you don't. Let me say it. He noticed it. Okay. You're going to think I'm lying. FIFA requested this be our trophy. That's hand to God. Hand to God. FIFA said you have access to this one. Put that one out there rather than the Fugazi one we had yesterday. So, as always, I'm doing...
Now, Infantino called
I didn't say
and
the
said,
president...
hey, can you put Knicks Lego World Cup trophy there?
KW, I didn't say the president of FIFA called, but I am telling you...
You said FIFA, the
I am
entity.
looking you in the eye and saying someone from FIFA called our show and made the request. The other trophy out, this trophy in. Cross my heart, hope to die.
Was it a request or a demand?
It was a demand. It was honestly, it was a demand because this is so great.
Has FIFA called in for all of your other Legos that are outside?
They haven't seen them yet. I'm so excited. Wait for Monday. We're about to become the show.
First hour, first things first, power-packed show. Today, World Cup kickoff for the men's national team. Is Team USA already facing a must-win? Meanwhile, Wemby in a literal must-win. The reason why San Antonio should be confident ahead of Game 5.
Stephon Castle and Mitch Johnson think it's a must-win. I think they could lose Saturday, and they'll be like, you know what?
There's a bit of Kenny Atkinson to the Spurs.
Yeah.
Stop it.
A little bit.
No, there isn't.
There is.
No, there is.
They're like, look at minutes led.
I mean,
They have not say they won.
We controlled the series.
They have.
We dictated the winner.
They have. The Knicks will admit that.
And finally, a special World Cup and NBA Finals edition of Title Pie.
Yes.
With Brew for the first time ever. 2 pies.
2 pies?
2 pies.
Yeah.
One absolutely delicious. One just a terrible bit of decision making from the producers. Terrible.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll give you a hint. It might be a quiche.
Because we're in the morning now.
Dusty came up and like, look, it's circular. I'm like, Dust, no. So instead of a delicious...
I asked for pizza pies, and I got laughed at.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know.
A pizza pie is more a pie than a quiche.
I agree. It's
Definitely.
also 5 minutes after the hour. We should probably start
Is
the
it
show.
really already? Yeah. Yikes.
Wild just wants to ad-lib the entire A-block.
We start in Mexico's City. Quiñones with an early goal off of an unwise clearance by the South African goalkeeper. Jimenez follows up with the second half with his first goal. Crowd was fired up to the benefit of the home team. Mexico wins 2-0 to start off the World Cup. Here's Alexi Lawless on home field advantage.
It gives you chills just sitting in that in that stadium down there, and knowing that 70,000 people are going to be there. I hope and I think we are going to have an obvious home field advantage. We saw what happened with Mexico. It is going to be a wild scene at LA Stadium tomorrow. I mean, the celebrities are going to be out. Everybody in
red carpet.
Every red carpet. It's going to be a madhouse in the best possible way.
Okay, on Fox, 9 p.m. tonight. Do you expect the American home crowd to pay immediate dividends?
I absolutely do. This is historically the greatest home field advantage in all of sports is the host nation at the World Cup. We talked about it a lot in the lead up, but host nations win a disproportionate amount of the World Cups. The host nations who haven't won very often, because their countries have never won the World Cup, their greatest finish ever was the year that they got to host the World Cup. I do think some of that historically has been a little referee intimidation, which in the VAR, in the VAR world, I think it's a little bit less than it would be previously, but I think it still exists. And I do feel like the players can feed off the crowd's energy, and I do think Mexico, if you didn't watch that game as accurately predicted to the exact score by this show yesterday, we called 2-0. That thing could have been 5-0 easy.
Yeah, it was.
And I understand South Africa is not very good, and Mexico played great. But part of that,
I don't know if they did play great.
Well, I mean, I thought Mexico played really well, but I think just if you saw in our highlight package that opening goal, I don't know that the goalkeeper was intimidated by the atmosphere, but he and the defender messing up one of the most basic plays imaginable 10 minutes into their World Cup, I think the atmosphere plays a part. So in that regard, yes, I do expect the home field in this game against Paraguay and in the entirety of the group stage at the very least to play a real dividend.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big boost from it as well. And also just because overall the vibes around this team are phenomenal. The expectations are as high as ever, if not higher, right? And everything seems to be kind of falling into place so far for Team USA. Pulisic's kind of gotten out of his slump. Chris Richards is back. And we're facing a team, quite honestly, we should beat, even though they're pretty good. And I just think the vibes and the crowd, all of it's going to come together. It's a primetime game, for our guys, which obviously in the World Cup happens. But it's every 4 years. These guys got to be hyped. And so I think in addition to the home crowd, all of that is coming into the play for us.
Dissenting opinion, obviously I'm rooting for Team USA, but dissenting opinion for the sake of argument based on what you were talking about, the goalkeeping. And Al Harrington put this into my head when he was like, the Garden crowd, New York is going to be rocking. And he was like, slow down. That could benefit the Spurs if it's that much intensity. And I think if it's going to show up, I think it could show up in net. Inexperienced, Matt Freese is the least experienced keeper we've had since 1990. He's got 15 starts. Tony Meola, friend of the show, had 18 in 1990. We've got one clean sheet, a.k.a. a shutout, in our last 13 games. So it's not like we've been pitching a bunch of perfect games to begin with. Maybe that's Chris Richards is back, and maybe Pochettino. We've got our full squad here. Maybe we're a little bit better, but we have allowed 11 goals in our past 4 matches.
No, that's a legit concern.
So if it does pop up, if the goalie's a little, and he's also looking over his shoulder, am I really the starter? That hasn't been established. Here's our goalie. This is what we're rocking with. So if it is a little bit nerves home court, I think that's where it could show up.
That's legit. And I think the one thing, not to pat ourselves on the back, I think we've done a good job getting our audience ready for the World Cup. The one storyline that I think we maybe neglected as far as shining a spotlight on it is the fact that the game's tonight and there are still questions about who our best goalkeeper is.
Yeah.
But no matter whether it's Freese or Turner, the United States goalkeeper in tonight's World Cup will be the first time ever that a starting goalkeeper for a World Cup team is coming from Major League Soccer. Every starting keeper for every World Cup match ever has come from an international league. And I understand Turner played internationally before, but he currently is in the MLS. Matt Freese in the MLS. That is a big question mark surrounding this team and whether or not they're going to need to, really rely on Pulisic and Balogun to, put up a bunch of goals because, or are they going to be able to win 1-0 games?
I don't know. Yeah. All right. Game tonight, of course, in LA, 9 p.m. on Fox. The good news, as we talked about, if you're hosting an opening match in the World Cup, you usually win. World Cup nations hosting opening matches. This includes Mexico's win yesterday. 17 wins, 6 draws, which I think is interesting. Only 1 loss, 53 goals,
and the
only
one loss
16.
was a team that wasn't ready to be there.
That's nice. That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean,
They weren't good.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have qualified.
No, they wouldn't have qualified.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is this a must-win for Team USA?
Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. It is not a must get a result, not a must get a draw. It's a must win if you're going to have any faith that this team is going to be able to not only make the knockout round, not only win a game in the knockout round, but in that round of 16, make just their win and make the final 8, the quarterfinals for just the second time in the history of the country of the team. This is the worst team they're going to play in the tournament. At least according to FIFA World Rankings. Theoretically, it's possible in the knockout round they could get lucky and a worse team could advance. But if that happens, that team is probably playing pretty well. I do think Brew's right. They all of a sudden feel like even though they're coming off a loss, they have some momentum. That would evaporate instantly. There is a clear path for the United States to be able to go into its final group stage game against the other best team in the group, Turkey, and have a margin of error, if not having already locked up advancing, and really just to be able to tweak there. Every single one of those paths involves them getting 3 points tonight and winning tonight. So I say yes, unequivocally, it's a must-win.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to your point, Paraguay's ranked 41st.
Yes.
We're 17th. We lose this, like I said, all the vibes, the good vibes surrounding the team. I feel like, we know Pochettino's been hard on these guys. It's been a transition. I kind of feel like now they're all in lockstep. Like, I feel like they're even taking on a bit of his personality. They got a lot of fight. Everything feels great, the excitement. And if we come out and lose to a team we're supposed to be, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because I agree with you. Like you talked about the goalkeeping. Our defense in general is our question mark.
Yep.
And Richards being back certainly helps. But is he fully back? He hasn't played yet in about a month. And so is the ankle fully healthy enough for him to really bolster that defense? So if we come out and lose tonight with all the expectations about this team, supposed to be our most talented team.
Experienced, almost everyone on the team played in the last World Cup.
And they've played together a lot. Just a lot of them go way back with each other. To lose this would really put a damper on the team from the get-go.
We do must win a lot, and although there is ties in football, you rarely see them.
Yeah.
So officially we are unbeaten in our last 3 openers. It's a pretty glass half full way of looking at it. We tied Wales in 2022.
As a big favorite.
Yes, we missed in 2018. We Ghana in 2014, we won 2-1. And then we tied England in 2010, which was a win, basically.
Yes.
If we draw here,
it's not good.
It would feel like a loss.
It would feel like, to me, like the Wales.
Like Wales. But it wouldn't feel like England. We wouldn't be celebrating.
Which set the table for an performance at the World Cup, which is what. So I do want to just very quickly, before we move on, set for the audience what it should or will take to advance. So again, there's a very basic stuff here for a moment. You're going to play 3 group stage games. If you win, you get 3 points. If you draw, you get 1 point. Okay, so the most points you can get is 9. Under the new format, if you get 5 or more points, you are absolutely golden to advance. So the way you get 5 points is a win and 2 draws. The way you get 6 points is 2 wins. People can do the math. If you get 4 points, exactly, The mathematicians say you're about 99% to advance. So if you win tonight, then to advance, all you really need is at least just one more draw.
Yep.
It gets hairy at 3 points, which would be either 3 draws or 1 win and 2 losses. But the last piece of it that matters is if you advance, if you win Group D, which is our group, then in the first knockout round game, you're going to be playing a third-place finisher from a different group. If you come in second in Group D, you're going to be playing a second-place finisher from the group Belgium's in. That could be them. That all of a sudden you'd be an underdog in your first knockout round game. So winning the group, getting a result here, critically important if the U.S. is going to have a good next 5 weeks.
Okay, kickoff 9 p.m. on Fox. We're going to head to San Antonio now, where the Knicks are 48 minutes from the championship. But hold on, if we're talking about minutes, Brew, the Spurs are actually winning. Spurs have led 133 minutes of this series. It's the most by any playoff team, right, Josh? Any playoff team down 3-1. Oh, hold on, Josh, or any finals team. Oh, third most of any round. It's the most for the finals. Thank you, Josh. I knew I screwed that up. I went with it anyways. Here's Stephon Castle.
Coach Nick said it best. We've pretty much dictated the winner and loser of all these games. And I think just us finishing games and trying to maintain our leads has been tough for us.
Yeah, and then Brew, here's just the numbers here. This series, the Knicks are winning by 2 points, but paint points, Knicks are winning by 2 points. A little bit on the rebounds. Assists are dead even. Field goal percentage just barely to the Knicks. So for a 3-1 hole, it's not that deep. Should the Spurs still be confident?
Absolutely. Why in the world wouldn't they? I mean, I'm dead serious. Why wouldn't you be confident? They have lost, but it is true. This isn't analytics. We judge the game by who's winning by points.
Yes.
And they have led most of the series. 2/3 of the series they have led. They gave away game 4. There's no question about it. The Knicks, credit to the Knicks because they played well, but they didn't take that. You even said yesterday it was more of a collapse than a comeback.
Yes, absolutely.
So without Castle is absolutely right, or I guess Mitch Johnson told the team, they have dictated the outcomes of these games. They've led every game by double figures. They've led every game in the last 2 minutes. And they were absolutely beating the stuffing out of the Knicks in game 4 in the Garden and beat up on them most of the games 3 and 4 in the Garden.
All true.
So, again, and I'm not making light of them being down 3-1, and it looks like they're on the path to lose this series. But there's a difference in the team is just beating us and us making these youthful, inexperienced mistakes that are costing us games. I would much rather, you hate to beat yourself.
Well,
when you look back, you hate to beat yourself. But I would much rather be in a position in anything where I know I can beat you, but I keep messing up myself. Like I'm the one making myself lose
that makes
versus
sense.
you making me lose. You're just better.
Well,
that's different.
I think I understand what you're saying. You'd rather be in that position while you're in it.
At least I feel like I can compete with the guy.
I also think that if they end up losing, you'd have wished it was the other way around. That if you're going to lose the finals, I think your off season is less painful if it's like
I
were
agree
just
with
better
you.
than
I
us,
agree with that.
rather than being like we gave it to
I
them.
agree with you.
And so,
I
but
agree.
in the moment, you feel like you're still in the fight.
Right.
With that said, I will file this again in the category of fine to think, fine to believe, fine to say internally. I do not think it is appropriate or helpful for their to on the heels of the biggest collapse in the history of the NBA playoffs to be like, essentially, we're better than them, which is what he said.
They haven't said that.
Well, Steph Castle said we expect to win 3 in a row. And then after they blew a 29-point lead, Steph Castle said, we dictated the winner and the loser.
Did they not?
At some point, when in the history of the NBA Finals, you are responsible for the first and 6th biggest second-half blown leads, some of that is the Knicks taking it from you, the Knicks being better at closing. I mean, this is the history of the Finals. The Spurs are on there twice from the last week.
No, but again, why are they on there?
What?
Because of their own mistakes.
To a degree, it is.
I mean, Wemby threw the ball into a guy's back. That's them. That is not the Knicks.
I don't think that's actually one of the games on here.
Right.
That was.
But that's another. I mean,
so I just.
They should be up 3-1. They should be up 3-1. Or at the very least, it should be 2-2.
I know, but Brew, don't you think that's part? Like if
that's part of
if
their
we
youth
were
and
running a
energy.
race,
I don't agree they should be up 3-1. I don't because
it should, at the very least, I get it because game 2 we don't know. They certainly should have won game 4.
They obviously should have won game 4.
Right. It should be at least
they certainly should have won game 4. There
could
is no
be
doubt.
up 3-1.
They could be, and I don't deny that.
Do you equate what they're saying to Kenny Atkinson?
Well, I think
that's totally different.
You're going to get
very similar.
You're going to get. I think what you said was closer to Kenny Atkinson when you said we dictate, winning by who's leading. It's like no, like we dictate who's winning by who won, and like But I hear you.
Leading
for big portions of the game.
Leading in points.
Yes.
We dictate winning by points.
Yes.
We don't dictate it by expected shots made and junk like that that Atkinson was talking about.
No, but this is just but there is nothing.
Like they have led by points.
They have led, and sadly, that's worth nothing.
I love
it.
What?
I don't think it's worth nothing.
I hate to say it.
Who's he here? Brew.
Okay. If I was in a race against someone I'm faster than, we raced 4 times. And one time, I forgot my track cleats. And one time, I didn't hear the gun go off. And one time, I just fell down.
Yeah.
And this person is up on me 3 races to 1. I think I can confidently say, look.
But that is.
I can win.
Totally agree.
I just keep on making the dumbest mistakes.
Right.
I didn't bring.
If I bring my A game,
I didn't bring
I'm
my
going to beat
shoes.
him.
Yeah, but so that's where that's the part I reject, and that to me, this all dates back to I truly believe there has not been a single moment the Spurs have properly estimated the Knicks.
That's true.
I think it's why they celebrated the way they did after the conference finals. I think it's why we're hearing these things. Because the Spurs didn't forget their cleats. The Spurs were winning a race and then got caught at the line. Were winning a race, then got caught at the line. And then won a race.
No, they forgot their cleats in game 2. Or they just threw the cleats away. They just stopped running.
They started looking around.
Right.
Waving to their parents.
But at some point, I guess the point that I am trying to make is this. You went in to torture the analogy more. You went into this race thinking, or series of races, I am much faster than the other team.
Yes.
Than the other guy. I think even Brew would acknowledge that is not the case.
No, not much.
These two teams are close.
Yes, I agree.
And if we're close, and at the end of games, one team always executes, and the other team never executes, that's a skill issue. Or experience.
I wouldn't say skill, it's experience.
Right, but
it comes down to decision making.
Decision making, but that's my point. The decision making.
But I always feel like it's my decision. You know what? I can make the right decision next time.
The problem is I don't think they can. I think the Knicks, with that experience.
The Knicks are definitely a better team.
Every time these games are kind of like we get further away from their game, a new layer of experienced decision-making pops up. The latest one is Cat telling the crowd to get closer. Bro? I'm like, this is so brilliant. And I looked it up, like Brunson, 78 playoff games. Bridges, 75. Cat, 68. OG, 70. Wemby, 21. Castle, 22. Champagne, 22. Harper, 22. Fox, who is the veteran, remember, he played for the Kings. He only has 27 playoff games. There's just so much. We've been here more. We know all this stuff. We're not going to get frazzled.
And I just...
Sorry, I was on your team for a while.
No, but you're right. It is the youth and the inexperience is shown.
But I guess that the point I'm trying to make is the reasons they are losing these games are part of what makes, to me, the Knicks clearly better. Is not that skill was the wrong word, Brew. It's not a skill gap.
Right.
But it is an ability to execute in the critical moments when these games are going to be close is not close between these two teams.
Just to keep going.
Yeah.
When Wemby said, it felt like Wemby was being almost flippant when he said, if we just play normal, we'll win the games. Do you agree with that?
No. I think that is underestimating the Knicks.
I do think I definitely coming into the series, they underestimated them. And I don't want them to be cocky and overconfident, which I do think they've been at times. I definitely want them to be confident, and I don't think they should be like feel like we have no shot. But I just think it's over the top.
What would a title mean for Jalen Brunson? And we are counting down to USA Paraguay. We'll be live from Los Angeles at 9 o'clock on Fox. And we cleared the Rolling Stones for the World Cup. Mick Jagger himself called. He said, you know what? Put that Lego trophy back out on the desk. Josh, can you check, or Gianna, can you check if the Rolling Stones have any deals with Legos?
Dell PCs with Intel Inside are built for the moments that matter, for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. Built for the busy days that turn into all-night study sessions, the moment you're working from a cafe and realize every outlet's taken, the times you're deep in your flow and the absolute last thing you need is an auto update throwing off your momentum. That's why Dell builds tech that adapts to the way you actually work, with long-lasting batteries so you're not scrambling for the closest outlet, and built-in intelligence that makes updates around your schedule, not in the middle of it. They don't build tech for tech's sake, they build it for you. Find technology built for the way you work at Dell.com/Dell PCs. Built for you.
Yesterday in Los Angeles, jersey swap, Harbaugh and Coach Pochettino ahead of USA Paraguay tonight, 9 p.m. on Fox. Harbaugh, of course, started 17 games for the Chargers. Pochettino played in the 2002 World Cup for Argentina. Yeah. That's not, he doesn't never played for Team USA. Right. So it's a jersey, but that's could be Harbaugh's real jersey there.
Could be.
I doubt
it's unlikely.
I doubt it. It was like the navy blue. Yeah. Right now, we're headed back to the NBA Game 5 Saturday night. San Antonio trying to dig out of a historic hole. Teams up 3-1 are 37-1 in finals history for New York. Who would a Knicks title mean the most for?
Well, look, obviously it'd benefit everybody, but there are a few individuals that really, I've stated before, I think it totally boosts their careers and legacies. Mike Brown, I think, becomes a Hall of Fame coach. Karl Anthony Towns, who I think probably already was going to be a Hall of Famer, but it totally changes his image. He's been viewed as a guy that's soft, at times silly, and this would totally change that, and I think it puts him in a Hall of Fame. But, and let me say OG Anunoby as well, that I think, Nick, for him, I see a boost in his career or his image or whatever you want to call it, similar to Aaron Gordon. Correct. Aaron Gordon has been a very good player his whole career. But when he helped Denver win that championship, he became not like an all-star guy, but you know what I mean? Like, man, Aaron Gordon is a very good player. Like, he's a necessity for them. He's a critical guy.
Yeah, some argued he was the second most important guy on the team. Everybody acknowledged he was top three. It also should be noted OG has a ring but missed that whole playoff run. with the Raptors.
With the Raptors.
He got hurt right before the playoffs. So while he's a champion, he hasn't been a part of a championship as far as during the playoffs.
Yeah, so I think his stature raises in the league, and I think even more than Gordon. I think he'll be viewed as a better player than Aaron Gordon is. But I think it's clearly Jalen Brunson because of things we've talked about before. Is he the greatest Knick ever? Whether you think he is or not, he's now in the discussion. I've said he's going to be not only probably on Team USA in 28, but a captain. Like, he's a winner. He's won at the high school level state championship, college level twice, now the pros, or if they win the pros. And, you know, we talked about the smallest player to lead a team to a championship. He joins Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry. I do have to shout out, I know this will upset you, Gus Williams. 1970. Nobody's saying Gus Williams. No. I know there is people are like, what in the world? 6'2", 1979, led the Seattle Supersonics to the championship. He was arguably the best player. He led the team in scoring, averaged 19 a game. Dennis Johnson was the finals MVP, and you could argue who was the better player, but Gus was the leading scorer, so I want to shout him out.
So listen, I do think that there was so much discussion weeks ago about what a championship would mean for Brunson. There's almost been not enough during the finals.
Probably.
Yeah. And so the greatest Knick ever thing is interesting. And so here are now, at this very moment, even if they don't win, these are the 4 greatest Knicks of all time.
Yes.
They all led the Knicks to the finals. And I just put up their accolades as a Knick. So here's what I think is interesting, KW. Reed and Frazier, what they had going for them is each other. They played together. They played. So I know that sounds obvious, but they made multiple finals together, and they had at varying moments of their career, different guy was the best player on their team. That's kind of the halcyon days of the Knicks. Ewing, finals appearances 1, even though he was on a team that went to 2, because in '99 he got hurt before the finals. But I think the MVP finish thing is interesting, as is the All-NBA numbers, because Brunson is approaching like as high as anyone other than Willis Reed got as far as their stature in the league. You understand what I mean, Brew? Like, Ewing was never a consensus top 5 player in the league. He was consistently in the mix, and I don't think ever was even considered top 3, and literally never had a top 3 MVP finish.
Maybe.
It's
just the Georgetown #1 pick. Like, he came in.
His stature.
But again, in the right off the #1 pick in the '80s, like the '80s still had Prime, Magic, and Bird. Jordan coming up. Zeke, Barkley, Hakeem, David Robinson. I don't have to do a '90s history. My point is, where Jalen Brunson is considered amongst the best players in the league is right in line with where Patrick Ewing and Clyde Frazier were. One of the best players.
And certainly if they win the championship.
Right, and if they win the championship. So I do think, like, best Knick ever is not a prisoner of the moment, a really viable opinion. With all that said, that is not who the title would mean the most for. I just wanted to support Brew's take. Even build a graphic for it. The people the title would mean the most for is the other 28 teams in the league.
Wow, what a take.
Because
good take.
It is a true blueprint of what do we do with these juggernauts of the West. Well, I don't know. Indiana built a team that could have won the title last year. Boston built a team that did win the title. And, you know what, again, the Eastern Conference, all this stuff. The Knicks built a team. None of those guys have a guy that we look at as Pantheon superstar potential. Jason Tatum, a great player, first ballot Hall of Famer. Jaylen Brown probably going to be the same, but is not, going to be on it. Right, top 10, 15 all-time guy. Like not in the discussions of where Joker or we think Wemby could go or Giannis is in the East. But, those types of things. Halliburton, some people don't even think he's a top 10 player currently in the league when he's healthy. Brunson has been, can't win a title with him, all those, the question. It is, to me, real proof of concept of, man, maybe the super teams just don't exist in the modern NBA. And maybe you can build something for the moment that can win 4 rounds, even without having. So that's, to me, because you can't follow the Spurs blueprint, literally or figuratively. Yep. Literally, not allowed to get 3 straight top 5 picks anymore. And figuratively, nobody can create another Wemby. Right. So if the Knicks do it, I think it just really is great for the overall health of 20 other fan bases that think they can win the title.
And front offices.
Yes.
It's team building.
Yeah. One vote for Jalen Brunson, because we kick around Jalen Brunson would become a New York icon. And it's hard to what does that actually mean? It feels ephemeral. He doesn't have to pay for steak dinners anymore. I get it. My brother-in-law went to game 4. My brother went to, and he's wearing a Patrick Ewing jersey. That I think he had to get a new one. I got my wife a Patrick Ewing jersey for Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, the kids got it for her. Because Ewing on your graphic was the icon of the 80s. In 40 years, I could see people who are growing up now in the Jalen Brunson era. You know what I want for Father's Day? A Jalen Brunson jersey like I used to have. That's the year in 40 years, 2066. I will be 87 years old, and I'll walk past a guy maybe, if I'm above ground, in a Jalen Brunson jersey, because he has become this New York icon. Where you're oh yeah, in 2066, when there's robots, there's already a robot at the parade outside of the Garden. Yeah. It's just going to be Jalen Brunson is this all-time New York icon.
Yeah.
But there's going to be robots everywhere.
And if he falls faster.
There's no reason to think he won't have 4 more great individual seasons like this. Yeah. So he will have played essentially a decade with the Knicks as a superstar, have at least 1 championship.
And you used the Ewing comp. We could use the Clyde Frazier comp, and in 53 years, so what would that be, 2079? Jalen's calling the games.
I'll be 98. When we see those Jalen Brunson jerseys running around. Still kicking.
On the flip side, Wemby ended the game missing 10 of his last 12 shots, 3 of his last 4 free throws. Not good. If he has another fall off, what would a quiet finals exit mean for your guy, bro?
The main thing, 2 weeks ago, Wemby, everything was Wemby. Not even 2 weeks. Whenever they beat OKC, it was all Wemby. It was already his league, which I think we all agree he is the face of the league. Face of the league. This would put a little damper on that. Because some people, I actually entered these finals thinking, and I think a lot of people did, when does the Wemby era team-wise start? Individually it started. Team-wise, is it starting this year because they win the championship, or is it start next year or whenever? And so I think that becomes into question. But individually, you want to win this thing if you're him. For the things we do when we look at legacies and all that, it'd be great if he won it this year for his legacy. It might be better for him if he loses it, because I can't say you can't say, we talked about it the other day. Would LeBron have done what he ended up doing had he won his first year in Miami? He's so great, I can't say no, but that's a significant part of his growth and development.
Sure.
Jordan losing all those times to Detroit, a significant part of his development. This will be
painful.
It'll be very painful, but if he's destined to be one of the all-time greats, and he will follow the path of Jordan, LeBron, all these other guys who had this immense pain early in their career or their first finals, whatever, and he went on to use it as motivation to improve. Mm-hmm. So that means this summer he gets stronger.
Yes.
This summer, he develops a low post game and a commitment to playing in there. Yes, keep all your other stuff, the threes, the handle.
You're not going to lose your
but
skill.
have a commitment to playing in there. And it just helps him mature individually. He's still 22 years old. So I think it could help him. I don't think, as far as he'll join the crowd of all the superstars that had their issues in the finals.
So I obviously, one of my fundamental sports beliefs is you should never be penalized for playing poorly further in the playoffs than you would be if you played poorly earlier. Right. Meaning, there should be no part of Wemby's story that it's like, you know what would have been better? Had they lost Game 7 to the Thunder and missed the finals. I think that's not, I know you.
Blowing the biggest halftime lead of all time is really a stress test on your theory, though.
But so I am not arguing these finals are, bad for him.
Right.
But you said something yesterday that I somewhat disagree with, which is that the finals will have done to him what they've done to all the young stars, or nearly all the young stars. The 5 greatest bigs ever all made the finals in year 2 or 3. Here is how they did. Kareem in year 2 averaged 27 and 19, and they won in a sweep.
Had Oscar.
He was finals MVP. He had Oscar. The Spurs have good players. But they didn't have Oscar Robertson.
Oscar was a veteran.
No.
If they had an Oscar veteran,
I don't think
they're not making all these stupid mistakes.
You don't think De'Aaron Fox is Oscar? Also, and Kareem went to 4 years of college. I'm just saying, Will made the finals in year 3, averaged 34 and 27. They lost in 7 to Russell. Akeem made the finals in year 2, averaged 25 and 12 on 48%. They lost to the great Celtics team.
Yep.
Shaq got swept in year 3 in the finals to Akeem. Averaged 28 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists on 60% shooting. They got swept. He was awesome.
Yep.
Duncan.
But got outplayed.
Got outplayed.
As great as
Duncan won finals MVP, averaging 27 and 14. The great bigs of all time all did what Wemby did, made the finals very early.
But they had a lot of different help.
Of course, but they also individually all played up to or exceeded who they had been that year. Wemby, this would be the one similar to LeBron when he made it in 07, where he's way down across the board. But it's and 07's not held against LeBron. 2011 is, and that's fair. But it is unique. We had, like, that part of it. All those guys very early in their career made it and didn't. I think we can all say Wemby is, if he plays poorly and they lose in Game 5, this was his worst series of the playoffs. This was, there's.
But he's actually, it's a bad season. But you'll look back. 28, 10, and 3 blocks.
Yeah, the numbers aren't going to.
The efficiency won't be there.
Shooting,
the efficiency's not there in the either team meltdown or the mistake.
Right.
But that is, when we talk about him, where it does matter is when we talk about where we think he could end up historically.
Right.
If he is competing.
Does matter?
No, I'm saying if he is competing with those 5 guys among Jordan and LeBron, but as far as best bigs ever. Remember how I said when he made the finals that if they win the championship, he'll be ahead of GOAT pace?
Right.
I think these finals, this performance compared to this, puts him behind where those guys were.
I would disagree because those weren't their first playoff series. Shaq had been in all of them had been in the playoffs.
All of them had been in the playoffs.
And they had better, Ralph
is,
Sampson.
He's not playing like a big all the time.
No, he's not.
Which he needs to start doing.
All right, we are counting down to U.S. Paraguay on Fox, 9 p.m. This one is coming live from Los Angeles. You're looking at the beautiful Hollywood sign. Nick, how much pressure do you think Pulisic is going to be under?
And not much after he scores in the first half.
Oh, my goodness. And international pastimes, U.S. men's team kicks off tonight at 9. If you're looking for any Herb Brooks-type miracle speech or a Ted Lasso TED Talk or even a Broussard Budlist motivation from Coach Pochettino, well, he says, too bad, it's too late. Take a listen.
Everyone know how to be ready. I think now they don't need an external motivation or inspirational speech. They need a motivational speech and inspirational when they need to go to train and improve in every single area. If you are not ready, sorry guys, it's impossible to perform. If not, what we were doing during all this year or year and a half preparing.
Dax, you like this out of Coach Pooch?
I love it. I don't like it. I love it. But at the same time, I don't necessarily believe him. Now, he stole one of my inspirational guys, Herb Brooks. I don't expect him to give you any inspirational Herb Brooks type speeches, but he will say something. 100% he will say something. And I scoured the internet earlier. I was like, surely in this age of social media where every pre-game speech from a coach, every post-game speech from a coach is filmed, surely we can find something where I can kind of be like, Pochettino, I don't necessarily believe you. I genuinely couldn't find anything. So it's not out there. I don't necessarily think he is, even though he's Argentinian, he's very fiery, very passionate, I don't necessarily think he is big on the pre-game motivational speeches. I found a post-game speech against Uruguay where they had just had the biggest win of his era, and it was 5-1, and he was very relaxed, very calm. This is the expectation. But what I will say is that if you have a player-led team where in the locker room before the game, you have players that are dictating what is being said, how we're supposed to approach this game, what it feels like to represent the United States of America in a World Cup, which, by the way, we have 13 returning players from the 2022 World Cup, so I don't think we're necessarily considered a young team anymore. We have plenty of experience. If I'm Pochettino, I would say, hey, this is your guys' thing. You take it. If you're on a player-led team where everyone internally doesn't need the motivation from the coach, which is what Pochettino is talking about, well, you're already a step ahead of, I think, where you were in 2022. I expect Tim Ream, the actual captain, to say things before the game. I expect Chris Richards to say something before the game. But I also expect Tyler Adams, the emotional leader of this team, the heart and soul, the guy who sits right in the middle of the field, to give a big speech before the game, because I think everyone looks to Tyler and says, you're our spine, you're our heart and soul, say something. I don't think Pochettino, to his point, he shouldn't have to say anything motivational to these guys. You're in a home World Cup, okay? If you need extra motivation, you should go home.
Yeah, I think Nick and Wilds think I'm going to poo-poo Pochettino and what he's saying. Now, it's different strokes for different folks. And if that's not, covering the NBA, like Pat Riley was known for these fantastic pregame speeches and motivation tactics. And I do believe, in 2006, he came up with some motivation. He had a treasure chest. They put family photos in it, all that.
Sure.
I don't think they win that championship, the Heat, without Riley being the coach. So I think it's a value there.
Yeah.
But I tend to, if that's not Pochettino's style, I'm fine with it. I agree with you. I think he's going to say something, obviously.
He will.
But it's just not going to be this dramatic thing. And I want to ask you, while I think there can be a value in those type of tactics, at the end of the day, it's going to be how they respond on the field, how skilled they are, how they can handle the moment, things like that. So as great as it might be, and you run out of the locker room charged up and all that, how much at the end of the day does some fantastic pregame speech really matter when it comes to getting on that field? The players want to win. You 100%. Can't raise their level.
I mean, my guess would be, and tell me if I'm right, it can matter a lot. The lower stakes the environment, the more the motivational speech matters. And the higher stakes the environment, the less important it is.
It's a great point.
And I think that's kind of what he's saying, which is it's the first game for almost everyone on the team. This is either the biggest or the second biggest game they've ever played in a Team USA jersey. We shouldn't need, an extra boost. And I also think that, you were a lot of the great coaches. I don't think Bill Belichick was a huge speech guy.
It feels Belichickian.
Yes.
We kind of have already done the work.
We've done the work.
Exactly.
And I think that's right.
13 of these players have played in a World Cup. None of these players have played in a home World Cup.
Yeah.
No extra motivation needed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. More on that coming up after the break. A double edition of Title V.
I got to tell you right now, I've never put so much work into a title pie. There's never been this many slices. There's so many teams. Brew, look at this. This is all.
Those are all the teams.
This is all the teams.
You're not going to like my bonus.
Wow.
We're also counting down to Canada taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina, 3 p.m. on Fox from Toronto. Canada seeking their first ever World Cup point. No points for our friends to the north. Live from New York. Oh, it's the show that's getting excited for the USA kickoff. Dax McCarty's here with a beautiful tie. Tie I'm a little bit jealous of.
Yeah, that baby is
You
popping.
like the floral tie.
I do. Adds a little bit of pop to the.
By the way,
she makes me pop right.
Christine does a great job.
Popping, brother.
Speaking of wardrobe, the video we had on social media where I took you guys down here to show you the Legos that are going to be revealed in full on Monday.
Yes.
Some people in the comments were mean about what you were wearing.
Mean?
They were mean.
No.
Because Brew and I happened to already be in our suits, and you were wearing your Bill Murray outfit.
Wasn't
you wear
my Bill
sometimes.
Murray outfit.
And they were mean. I defended you.
No, you know what I was doing? Stunting, they said.
Stunning. That's what they said? Yeah. Okay.
They
I
said,
just want to let you
they
know
said
I
Kevin's
defended
got that stuff on.
Oh, that's what they said?
Yes. Second hour, first things first today. It's Team USA facing a must win. Meanwhile, should the Spurs be confident? Bruce says analytically they're up 3-1. Not fair, but
They might be. Who
but
knows?
you're flirting. You're not Atkinson level, but you're Atkinson adjacent.
No.
You're getting close.
No.
You're getting close. But right now, of course, it's Friday at 11 o'clock. It's time for our inaugural edition of Title Pie World Cup edition with a bonus compliments of the chef.
What's that?
Title Pie, final Title Pie.
NBA Finals. Yeah.
Right, we won't get that?
NBA Finals.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
What?
Hit or miss here.
What do we have going on?
Because we're on at 10 o'clock in the morning, Dusty brought out a coffee cake. It's a pie shape. And
A quiche.
a quiche.
Looks delicious.
Which does it?
Yeah.
A broccoli quiche?
If
Nobody
I may,
wants that.
If I may, should be a first place frittata.
Oh.
First place
I like that.
frittata. Is it circular? Are frittatas
It has
circular?
to be
Absolutely.
We can make it. Oh, it is. Okay.
To the pie.
Neither
the pie.
of these is a pie. That's the bottom
48
line.
teams in the
Fair
tournament.
point.
Only 13 have official slices. 25 don't even get to show up on this graphic. The less than 1%ers, meaning teams that don't get a slice, but I'm not going to disregard entirely. Senegal, Ghana, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Ecuador, Colombia, Uruguay, South Korea, Japan, Canada. I expect almost all of these teams to advance out of the group stage in the expanded World Cup, but they got no shot of winning the tournament. To the 13 teams that can. 1%, Croatia. There's as many people in Croatia as there is in Oklahoma. And they've been, in the last 2 World Cups, to the finals and the semifinals. Now, why, so if they have such great legacy, why is such a small slice? Very old team. Luka Modric is 40 years old and has a broken cheekbone, and they're going to be leaning on him. But I like Croatia. I like Zach Lowe. They've been to the Final 4 back-to-back World Cups. They're at 1%. 2%, Mexico. Listen, they already won a game. That's good. Home field advantage bump. They're a knockout round staple. Prior to the 22 World Cup, they had made the knockout round in 7 straight World Cups, but they always lose that first knockout round game. They have the most appearances of any country in World Cup history without winning it. We already heard from Dax, 17-year-old phenom Gilberto Mora. Saw him a little yesterday, see if he scores a goal in the group stage. Only 2%. And this one hurts my heart, but they're the same group as Brazil. It's tough. Morocco. How'd they do in qualifiers? They outscored their opponents 22-2. They also are a historical World Cup team. In 1986, they were the first African nation ever to make the knockout round of the World Cup. In 2022, they made the semis, the deepest any African nation has gone. However, they have an inexperienced new manager, but what they have going for them is maybe the best right back in the world in Hakimi, and they also got a defection. Diaz was like, I don't want to play with Spain anymore. I want to play with Morocco. That helps them there at 2%. I'm lower on this team than most. There's two teams where my slice of the pie does not at all line up with the Vegas odds. One of them is Belgium, 2%. What was supposed to be their golden generation ended in the last World Cup. Everybody knows their star Doku, and oddly, in their last warm-up, Lukaku didn't even play. They do have star power. I'm not as much of a believer as others. They're at 2%. 3%. Team USA. Home field advantage is going to matter. The fact that they got a dream group draw is going to matter as far as their path to being as smooth as possible through the potential knockout round. They are an experienced team, as Dax was talking about. Flip side, they are going to be tonight the first team ever to start a goalkeeper from Major League Soccer in a World Cup game. That makes me a little nervous. They're at 3%. I'm higher on this team than most. You know why? Because I like, does your team maybe have the best player in the world? Oh, well, then maybe you can win the whole thing. Norway, 4%. First major tournament since 2000. First World Cup since 1998. But they have Erling Haaland. He might be the best player in the world. He might be the best player in the tournament. I'm giving him a 1 in 25 chance to win the tournament. Netherlands, 5%. Kind of the Minnesota Vikings or Buffalo Bills of the World Cup. They've been to the final 3 times. They have lost the final 3 times. They also did invent total football, and a little controversy, not controversy is the wrong word, but there is some feeling for Dutch fans of, we'd rather lose playing the Dutch way than win playing the way some of these other European nations do. I'd want to just win, but what do I know? Listen, I'm not Dutch. Memphis Depay is their top scorer and assist man. I think most fans know, is it Frankie or Frankie de Jong? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it.
Frankie. Spelled with an E.
Okay, that's Frankie de Jong. My Dutch pronunciation is not great. They're best players. This is the other team I'm lower on than the Vegas odds. England, 6%. You know why I don't believe in England? 2 reasons. Their history in the World Cup and the heat. They're already nervous about the heat. They're used to foggy, dreary weather. They're about to be scorching. Now, I do believe in Harry Kane, but he's a little banged up. And how will they use bruised guy Jude Bellingham? Big question. Now to the big dogs. 8%. Germany. Now, they struggled in qualifying, and they are 4-time champions of this tournament, but they've, in 2 straight World Cups, gone out in the group stage. Prior to that, they had made the quarterfinals or more in 16 straight World Cups prior to these last 2. So they're coming off really their only drought, if you will, in World Cup history. And pardon me, one other note with them, their old keeper 3 years ago, he's like, I'm retiring. Everyone's like, you're not retiring, you're gonna come back from the World Cup. He's like, no, I'm retiring. So they're like, okay, you gotta get a new keeper ready. Then a month ago, he's like, guess what, boys, I'm back. So, he's really good, but they switched him out at the last minute. 9%, Portugal. Listen, they have the best midfield in the tournament, maybe?
Correct.
Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva. But the story is Cristiano Ronaldo, even though he is not, I don't think there's not even an argument he's their best player, but some people feel he's the best player ever. Is he going to start? Is he not going to start? If Portugal were to go on a deep run, if he were to, for the first time in his World Cup career, have a successful knockout round individually and the team goes deep, how does that change the Ronaldo-Messi debate? They can win the tournament. Even if Cristiano Ronaldo retired today, they could still win the tournament. We'll see what he can do. 10%, the defending champs. Listen, everybody knows about Lionel Messi, probably the greatest soccer player of all time. How about their manager, though, Luis Scaloni? All he's done is win 70% of the games he's coached, and all Messi's done in his old age is scored 8 goals in qualifying, keeps winning MVPs in MLS, and they have a bunch of young stars to complement him, and they're the defending champs. They might be the best team in the world. But I don't have them with the biggest slice from their own continent. The team I'm the highest on compared to the Vegas odds, Brazil, 13%. Now, were they good in qualifying? No. Have they been good in the World Cup since 2002? No. They've gone out in the quarters every year, except for 1 year they made the semis and lost 7-1 at home. However, Their manager, Carlo Ancelotti, might be the best manager in the entire tournament. Casemiro is back. And can Ancelotti unlock Vinny Jr. for the national team, which has been the big question? If he can, they'll win the tournament. Also, by the way, how did Brazil do the last time the U.S. held the final? Oh, they won the whole thing.
I mean,
What?
not a long time ago.
What was the last time? The last time the tournament was held in America, Brazil won. I'm just telling you. They're 100%.
Long time ago.
Several of the players, I don't even know if they were.
Born.
Vinny Jr. wasn't born. Very few of their players were born. Up to 15%, Spain. Listen, they won the World Cup in 2010. They've been disappointing at the World Cup since then. The Yamal injury worries you a bit. For the first time in the history of the Spanish team at the World Cup, 0 players from Real Madrid. Here's the thing, though. They're probably just the best team. So it probably doesn't matter, but it is a unique situation. And then the team with the biggest slice, France, at 20%. They've won the World Cup twice. They have finished second twice. They have finished third twice. This is legendary manager Didier Deschamps' last World Cup with the team. Then maybe Zinedine Zidane takes over. Too many good players to name. Mbappe is a World Cup legend. Oh, I don't think he's the best player on the team. They have Dembele. They have your guy Doué. They are the favorites for a reason. That, Dax, is
Great title pie.
World Cup title pie.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Nick.
A lot of pieces there.
A lot of pieces. 13. Try to listen.
Too many.
I was like, ooh, those 1-2 percenters, man, those are low. And I see that you saw my big board.
The big board looks great
the
for
top
a
two.
World Cup overtime.
We clearly disagree on Brazil.
Yeah.
And
They're
you
underrated.
mentioned
The greatest soccer nation in the history of the world.
well, you kind of made the points for me is that they were bad in World Cup qualifying, not great.
No.
And you said that Ancelotti might need to figure out a way to unlock Vinny Jr. Well, he really hasn't been able to do that. Vinny Jr. is absolutely world class for Real Madrid, one of the best wingers in the world. I think he's at 1 goal in his last 7 games. I actually think it's a different winger, Rafinha, from Barcelona, who's actually more important to the success of the Brazilian national team. They're dealing with an injury, right? The right fullback Wesley goes out injured. I just don't know if Brazil has the firepower that they had in the past to be able to make a deep run in this tournament. And I do have some issues with you saying Erling Haaland, one of the best players in the world, yes. Is he the best striker in the tournament? No, that's Harry Kane.
Oh. Harry Kane's better than Haaland, huh?
He is a more well-rounded striker than Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is a Terminator in and around the box. He's unbelievable. And he does have Martin Odegaard, a great attacking midfielder, but Harry Kane is the striker I would take in this tournament
Harry
before
Kane.
Erling Haaland. But I don't have too many other issues. I think you have Morocco a little bit too low.
Well, we're going to see Brazil versus Morocco.
Exactly. That
in
is
New
one of the
Jersey
games
tomorrow.
of the tournament. So what happens to your title pie if Morocco ends up?
Oh, that's what it's fluid.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
But what happens
Fair.
to your top 10
exactly,
if
it's
Brazil
fluid.
beats Morocco?
Brazil's going up if they beat Morocco.
Dax, I love the bonus take at the end. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And so much so that I'm going to start with a bonus take.
Wow.
Bonus take.
Nick, are you aware, you might be, and just overriding it, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner has never, in the 70-year history of the award, won the World Cup.
I was not aware of that.
Not aware of that either.
I was aware of that
70
this
years.
morning, and that is a great little nugget.
Dembele,
Yeah.
reigning
that then at all.
winner from France. So that eliminates France.
Oh, they're just out.
They don't get us right.
70 years.
I mean, 70 years. That's a long sample size. But I got Spain as number one. You mentioned a lot of it. I mean, even without Yamal, who I'm going to act like the hamstring is not there, and he's fine. But even if it is they're still incredibly loaded as a roster. We were talking before in the break. Pedri, there might be the best midfielder in the world.
Correct.
So they're loaded. They are trying, along with a few other teams, to become the first team this century to win multiple World Cups. They've been disappointed in the last 3, which I think is just motivation, even though some of the players are different. So I like Spain to take it, which obviously it wouldn't be a huge upset,
and I mean, listen, they are right behind in the Vegas favorites, France. That you can argue that they are if healthy, the most talented team.
Yep.
I think they absolutely can. What I'm most interested in is KW. What do you think of Bruce Barr?
Aroha. will be Spain in the net.
That's totally dusty. Dak, so
you like that?
I don't
Not
make
bad.
the bars.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I don't make the bars.
Go ahead.
That's not bad.
I've changed my take on this.
Mid-show?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Once I dug into the research. Initially, I was like, England, historically sort of disappoints in the World Cup. I'm going the other way on here. I'm pro-England, although my bar still stands England feeling the heat.
Yeah, I told you.
Tough matchup. It's not quite the group of death, but a tough matchup. Guess what, Dak? I think that's good.
I do.
I don't want to play a bunch of like, hey, we qualified. Can you kick our butt and move on? No. Have some tough matchups right away in the group stage. Like, hold on, is it our year? And I understand the narrative about the Heat. It hasn't been great, but it makes for good tabloid fodder. You know how the broadsheets are over across the pond. This is in the BBC, Declan Rice. Mum was killing me. England's Rice on World Cup heat and his sunburn. Got his official pictures taken. The guy looks like a lobster. And then there is some James Bond stuff going on. I don't know if you've seen this. England to use palm cooling devices at the World Cup. It's just, you just put your hand on this thing and it cools your palm via
Can't use your hands.
electronics. No, on the sideline.
I understand.
And it's not just dumping your hands in ice, but it will cool your palms and your hands will just go everywhere. I'm like, well, wow, it's still hot. Here's the thing. I grew up in Northeast, and people move to LA, never come back. Everyone's like, it's too cold. They're never like, it's too hot, I gotta get back. You get used to being warm.
Because they moved to LA where it's beautiful. They're not Texas or muggy places.
Great question. Great point. Yeah. The three matchups. Number one, Croatia. It's in Arlington, or as you might know it as, Jerry World. It's inside, okay? Not a big deal. That one's air conditioning. Yeah. Number two, Ghana. It is in Boston, a.k.a. Foxborough. It's not cold. It's not super hot. It's the middle of Massachusetts. You're fine.
The goal isn't to get out of the group stage.
Well, I'm just talking about you getting acclimated.
The goal is to win knockout round matches.
Panama. It's in New Jersey. It can be occasionally hot here.
Muggy.
Oh, yeah. Very muggy.
But it's not that bad.
Ride with England in the World
I'm
Cup.
rolling with England.
How's that work
And I just found out Harry Kane's better than Holland. I didn't realize that. I liked Harry Kane. He had a little resurgence once he went to the Bundesliga.
Okay. All right. Quickly.
No bonus take from me.
No. Quickly.
Like
oh, shoot. We have a whole bonus take.
Yeah, we have a whole nother pie.
Another pie. NBA title pie. I did touch it.
I was gonna take a slice. Not now.
Sorry, bonus take. Bonus
Still
pie.
have a
Quickly here. Two teams left. Spurs, Knicks.
Oh,
Let's see what their pie journey has looked like
Pie journey.
over the course of the year. Inaugural pie.
Oh,
Who in their right mind would do this?
What do you mean?
You're just out of your mind, dude.
He wants to show that he
No,
had
I want to show. Well, here's what I want to show.
I'm looking
actually.
at April 24th.
Exactly. That's the point. That's what I'm showing. Not that long ago, April 24th, which was, I believe, the day before the 13-game winning streak started. The Knicks were down to 1%.
Death's door.
Yeah.
A week into the winning streak, they were up to 12, but the Spurs were up to 20. 2 weeks into the winning streak, the Knicks had overtaken the Spurs for the first time. Late in the winning streak, 11 games in, the Knicks were at 51%. The winning streak is over. The winning is not over. Final edition title pie.
Wow.
And I'm saying final because we're not getting to Game 7. If there's Game 7, there could be more. Final edition title pie.
I think you should be happy with it.
Spurs 10%.
That's one toe down.
That leaves 90% for the soon-to-be
What a pie.
NBA champion New York Knicks.
Unbelievable
Like
pie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing if I have a knife or anything in here. Nope.
Just rip it with.
Yeah,
You already touched it.
Rip it with your hand. Give me a piece.
I was
Rip
thinking-
it apart.
I was
You
thinking
might as
about
well
it.
do that.
I
Just
just want-
just give me a
Just
piece
rip it
like that.
apart.
I just want a
No,
little-
don't do it daintily.
I can't do it. It doesn't have the structural integrity.
Coming
Coming
up
up
next.
next,
A lot of crumbs.
are the Spurs making a comeback? And of course, we are counting down to the games today. U.S. Paraguay on Fox. Shout out from Santa Monica.
Can I give my
All right,
official
yeah.
score prediction here?
2-0 again.
1-0 U.S.
One? Oh, that's almost a loss.
Incidentally, he and his opposite number, Hugo Bros, played against each other in the 1986 World Cup. Sotole was caught out there, and there's an early goal for the Mexicans. Quinones, big goal.
Okay, that was the opening match for the other host nation, Mexico, along with Canada.
Yeah.
They play at 3 o'clock today. And then USA plays at 9 o'clock. It was nice to get a goal 8 minutes into the game. Really got everybody involved in Mexico City. When you think there's going to be an early Pulisic goal?
I think the U.S. is going to. I think Pulisic's going to score in the first half, and then they're going to hold on for dear life. That's what I think.
Hold on for dear life. My goodness.
Wow.
Head to the NBA. Speaking of holding on for dear life, Bruce Spurs. Game 5 on Saturday, Brew. The Spurs squad seems confident, even in the face of literally the worst collapse in NBA history.
Yeah, it was.
How do the Spurs force a Game 6 and win on Saturday?
Well, obviously, we all know establish Wemby inside first. All right, first and foremost. When they get their double-digit lead, not if, when they get their double-digit lead, play smart. All right? Don't just start hoisting a bunch of threes. They shot. It wasn't just that they kept shooting threes, because you're going to keep shooting threes in today's game. But it was, Nick, that they took so many early in the shot clock. You have to walk that balance between staying aggressive but using the clock as your friend if you get this lead. And so play smart. And in pregame, they got to be telling the talk has already had to happen. Look, put this behind us. And I think this is where their youth can help them in that they probably don't feel the gravity of what they did because they're so young. They may not understand it. I don't mean understand it, but, it doesn't weigh on them as heavily as some veterans.
I think sometimes the inexperience shows up where it's like, I got a long career ahead of me. This isn't my only shot at it.
Well,
certainly they know they blow a huge lead, but
I think you guys
don't want to take it for granted.
I disagree I think there's some places where it's, you don't know what you don't know. There are, your young children know what the Spurs did had never happened before.
Well, of course.
Well, we're not saying
they're not going to weigh on them as if it was Chris Paul and the Suns.
And that's the question. You might be right. I don't know. That's the question. How is it going to impact them? Yeah. We would have thought the Wemby thing impacted them like that. We would have thought, when he threw it off of Castle's back. They come out and win Game 3 and look good. Yeah. And that crowd didn't infect them like we thought it might. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, I think, oddly, I actually think their best path to forcing a Game 6 is not leaning on Wemby early and trying to make sure you can lean on him late. I'm going to, I guess, say this until the series is over.
You've been on this. It's okay.
He doesn't have 4 awesome quarters in him. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just not what I would bet on. And maybe Game 4, it was more dramatic because they only had the 1 day off between.
Right.
But they didn't have to travel, so that helps a little bit. They have travel here. The only 1 day off between where he was just so active and awesome early. And now the Knicks Brew in Game 4 scored during the comeback 1.8 points per possession when targeting Wemby. Because they were able to draw him outside, and he just wasn't. He's already going to be at something of a disadvantage there just because of his size, but he wasn't able to move as quickly as he normally can. I think the Knicks unlocked a lot in that game on the comeback of, we haven't played Brunson and Alvarado together at all year. We can now do that. That is something. That's a way to take some of the load off Alvarado. Do the Spurs counter by the one thing I'm surprised they haven't done yet in this series, which is, why don't we press the Dylan Harper button more? Harper seems, listen, he hasn't been able to make threes. His shot's been off. But he seems like he can get to the rim at will.
Yes.
And so, now, would you start all three guards, Castle, Fox, and Harper, and put Champagny to the bench? I would think
the way
about
they've
it.
started has been fine.
Well, that's another good point. I guess you wouldn't want to
Yeah.
change it because you've been awesome.
And
in
you
these
do
first
need
quarters.
Champagny's. I mean, Vassell was good, really good
Yes.
last game. You need Champagny's three-point shooting.
Here's another, I think, important element to the game. So I've been toying with in my brain going to San Antonio. So I've just been looking at the tickets.
Great.
They are almost MSG prices because it's MSG fans that are buying them up. I think 100%. I think this crowd is going to be not that dissimilar to the Cavs Game 4 crowd. Where remember after the Knicks won,
over.
where they stayed and it was like a Knicks crowd hanging out there. I think this stadium is going to be 40% Knicks fans. And I think that now how that impacts them, obviously the Spurs played great on the road.
40%.
I think, and I at least will be volume-wise that, because I think Knicks fans are going to be over the moon about what's happening, and Spurs fans are going to recognize, all right, this is step one of a long journey, even if we win tonight. I had been saying all along Knicks in 6, that I thought they would split the first 2 in San Antonio. The Knicks would win. I thought they'd be 3-1 in this spot, and then the Knicks would lose Game 5. I no longer feel that way. And in order for the Spurs to win this game, I think that they need to have a tie or a small lead at halftime without Wemby having done a lot. And find a way there so Wemby can try to close it out for him.
Quickly, when we talk about like how the Spurs are affected by giving up a huge lead, do you expect there to be a little bit of a best moment of our basketball lives hangover for the Knicks?
I mean, look, if there is that, and the Spurs get up big, it's been that way most of the series. So that it'd be hard to tell, and you still wouldn't be able to relax because obviously not only would you feel like the Knicks could come back, but the Knicks would feel like they can come back. So I think their players have done a great job of remaining even-keeled and steady and not getting ahead of themselves. So I think they'll be fine.
Do you guys Brew thinks the Spurs are a little bit better than the Knicks holistically. I think the Knicks are a little bit better than the Spurs. But we're all thinking it's close, right? I would be nervous if I were a Spurs fan of, all right, these two teams pretty clearly pretty evenly matched. You know what we haven't seen yet? The Knicks jump out to a huge lead.
Right.
The Knicks, the Knicks have not had one unbelievable shooting half the way the Spurs just had. They haven't. There hasn't been. We're yet to have the. Oh my God, where did that performance come from a deep role player? You know, OG had 30, but OG's second highest player on the team. OG's,
I know, but he's like,
Colorado wasn't supposed to do that at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, but so I just.
And that second quarter of Game 3, they were great.
You're talking about like
Shamet
having 21. Just the random guy.
Yes, and so the Josh Hart had the nice game in the loss, the nice shooting game in the loss.
Yeah.
I just also. Last point I'll make here. I do wonder, there's no way to prove it. I thought Towns was going to have an awesome Game 4. He was, he scored on his opening basket. Then I thought scored on the second one, but then they overturned it. I wonder if Towns is able to avoid foul trouble like he was in Games 1 and 2 for the beginning of at least Game 2, what performance he's about to have.
Yeah. I think he was a plus 17 because he wasn't in those minutes that he was resting. All right, tonight, must win for U.S. men's national team. Game kicks off at 9 o'clock in Los Angeles. Dax McCarty is here with the one concern.
Looks gorgeous, I gotta say.
Yeah, you should see the real estate. Play Bryson.
Lovely little ball that is.
South Korea
Second match of the opening day of the World Cup yesterday. South Korea wins. They'll take on Mexico, who also won. And we are counting down to USA's inaugural game. Starts at 9 p.m. We're only 9 hours away, 9 hours, 19 minutes as we take on Paraguay, which we're excited for and we're going to talk about right now. We're favored to win, Dax. Is this a must-win?
Yes, it is a must-win in a sense of getting the entire country behind you, in a sense that I saw what Nick said a little bit earlier, is that you want to finish first in the group, and it will make your life in the knockout rounds much easier. Now, in practicality, is it a must-win? No. We're not talking about a Spurs must-win here.
Right.
But we are talking about getting the whole country behind you, setting your stall out and making sure that people realize we understand what's at stake. Because we want to let as many people that want to support the United States of America and men's soccer into the tent as possible. And you know how you do that? You have a great performance in the first game. So you really get everyone excited. So yes and no.
Yeah, so if we have time later in the segment, I can go over a bit of kind of the mechanics of what 3 points would mean versus 1 point or 0 points for the U.S. moving on. But I want to treat this from even if they were like, hey, no points will be awarded for this match. It won't count towards the standings, but everybody's going to play as if they were. I would still feel like it's a must-win. For me to believe that this U.S. team can do what I think its obvious goals, reach its obvious goals, which are not just reach the knockout round and not just in the expanded field win a knockout round game to get to the round of 16 where we've been many times, but to get to the elusive quarterfinals where we've been once. And then you can dream. You know what I mean? If you get to the final 8, you can be like, hey, we're going to be an underdog against anybody we play there, but see what the hell happens. If we are not good enough to beat Paraguay, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to their players or the nation, but it's a 48-team tournament, and they are roughly the 40th best team in the world. Now, it doesn't mean they're 40th best team in the tournament because it's not what stacked 1 through 48 from world rankings. But this will, in all likelihood, be the lowest ranked nation we play at any point in this tournament. You've got to be able to win that game.
Yeah.
And so even though they can lose and still probably in the betting lines be even money to get out of the group, that won't matter. That's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on, can the U.S. actually seize on the advantage that these players will have for the only time of their careers, a home World Cup, a great group draw, and start off strong.
Dax, can I ask you about Pulisic and how much pressure he's under?
Sure.
We had World Cup Wednesdays for I don't know, a few months leading up to tonight's game. And one of the storylines that we had was this drought, goal-scoring drought that Pulisic had. And we kept on using the word drought.
Yeah.
And then he scored in the friendly against, that was Senegal. He had this goal. And we're like, drought's over.
Yeah.
But it's almost because we were using the word drought. Like, good news, we got a rain. The crops are great now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another way I could frame this was, he's got 1 goal in 2026. You know what I mean? It's just the way that we framed it was different.
Right.
Is it all behind us? Are all concerns behind us because of that 1 goal?
Yes, I'm not worried about Christian Pulisic.
Wow.
And it's mainly because of the performances that we have seen out of him in the last couple of friendlies. And he even spoke about this himself. He said, look, if you were watching me at Milan, maybe I wasn't at my very best, but I was still contributing. I was still doing well. Right? This isn't like other sports where the statistics are so important into maybe the narrative of the game. Pulisic was playing well, but I've got a full-scale plan in how the United States men's national team will win this game tonight. And referencing back to what Pochettino talked about, not having to give any motivational speeches. You know, only thing you have to do, Coach? Just show highlights of your last friendly against Paraguay, please, because this is all the motivation I would need if I was a player on that team. Yeah. And you go through pregame video. Everyone goes through video when you want to go over your tactics, your starting lineup, exactly. This is the only thing I would show at the end of my video session with my players, and I would say, I don't need to say anything else. Let's watch this, know what you're up against in Paraguay, because they know you are a better team. They know you're a more talented team. You want to win the game? Make sure you set up to fight and scrap and be gritty like Americans can be. And then we are the more talented team. We have the better players on the field, but I would line up this video right here if I was Pochettino, and I wouldn't have to say another word. My players would know exactly what is at stake.
Well, I agree with you guys. It's a must-win. I want to ask you, Dax, do you expect Paraguay to come out and try to make it just physical and ugly again?
I would be,
because they know we have the talent advantage.
I would be flabbergasted if that was not their game plan right from the beginning. If I'm the Paraguay head coach, I'm saying foul. Be pragmatic. Break up the game. Frustrate them. It's called gamesmanship. Take your time on all set pieces, all throw-ins. Right?
That's why I think 1-0. I just don't.
Yeah,
think
it's going to be close.
Of goal scoring.
I want to make sure people's frame of reference and what their expectations should be are. The U.S. is going to win the game, but it is not going to be easy. None of these games are going to be easy in this group. And to your point earlier about this is potentially the quote-unquote in the FIFA rankings worst team we are going to play. Soccer is an inherently chaotic game. There are random, weird things that happen. You have to keep your emotions in check because there are the possibilities of red cards. There are the possibilities of injuries. You have to play on this very fine edge of balancing out how much energy and emotion you play with, but not getting frustrated, as we saw in Copa America with Timothy Weah getting sent off against Panama. That kind of derailed our entire tournament. One single play could do that for us in this World Cup, so make sure you manage your emotions.
So, I was upset alert?
We're supposed to be focused on USA Paraguay, but it looks like they're all of a sudden the Puxatani pill of football is here to make an upset alert. Bonus upset alert.
What he's gonna do?
Oh my goodness! What a special treat, Dax.
Yeah,
that there was
happening.
a random upset alert.
I can't wait.
You're just gonna try to
Powerhouse. Oh, we've got some World Cup trophies, do you? Well, we're the smallest nation to ever qualify for the World Cup.
Oh, wait.
Curacao. A draw is a win against Germany. Oh, Wilds, that's impossible. Little Curacao, they can't do it against big bad Germany. Okay. What happened last year was Saudi Arabia was paying the best player in the world. Their first match, they straight up won. All of the pressure is on Germany. Curacao, sit back. Pretty good defense. Boom. Get one goal. Hold back, maybe. Maybe a draw. How's Germany look? Super strong in their friendlies? Not against the U.S. They're supposed to be better than the U.S. U.S. had more shots on goal, more possession. Curacao saying all the possession is on them. And I think the line is like 3.5 to 4 goals. People are talking about, it's like when Spain played Costa Rica and Spain won 7-0 and Costa Rica didn't even get a shot.
Yeah, it's going to be just like that.
Wrong!
I want what you're having, all right? Germany is going to win this game by multiple goals. Just FYI.
You know what? It wouldn't be an upset alert without people like you who didn't believe in Curacao. Blue wave.
Very quickly, just for Dax mentioning red cards. Last tournament, last World Cup, 4 red cards total. First game of this World Cup.
3 already?
Crazy.
I don't know if there's a knock-on effect from that. But
Well, now because VAR, I think, does.
Yeah, but there was
forward
VAR in last World Cup too, to a degree.
But technology and
yeah, you know what? Everything, the robots.
Yeah.